Hello and welcome to the first game of the day, a day where we are gonna see 5 games of StarLadder Season 6. It is day number 8, StarLadder day number 8 that is, and we are gonna be seeing for the first game Mouz taking on Radical Online Extremists, otherwise known as RoX.KiS. And it's all best out of 1, that's how StarLadder works. Each team faces each other once. It's a round robin of 16 teams, so 15 games per team. You get 3 points if you win. If you lose, you get no points whatsoever. And at the end of the season, the top 4 with the highest amount of points will get invited to the LAN finals in Kiev. And for these games, for all games today, I will be having Vykromond by my side co-casting. Welcome to the broadcast.
Thanks, Sheever. It's really good to be here, and I think we have like a bunch of really good games today, and I'm really excited about them because, of course, people might not know about RoX.Gaming, but we've been casting them recently, and they're actually like super good. So I think every single game today could turn out pretty interesting.
I think so too, and I already mentioned them briefly right before the broadcast. Because, you know, we have a lot of giants playing today. Like, we have Virtus Pro, we have Fnatic, Na'Vi, Mouz, big names. And then you got RoX.Gaming in there. And, you know, they're up against the big team, so it won't be easy for them, regardless. But I'm really hoping for them to put up a good show. And before we jump ourselves further into the draft, just real quick, I'm going to show people the standings of how they are so far. Of course, like I say, Playday 8. There's going to be a lot more Playdays. The games will last until June 13th, so the scores might not be that much telling, but we can see that RoX.KiS so far have played 3 games in these Star Series and have lost all 3. They have been on a bit of a low since their elimination from the Western qualifiers. We see Mouz, they've been on a bit of a high. They've played 2 games, won 2 games, so we're gonna see if RoX can get their first 3 points in the pocket and if Mouz can continue to rise to the top and have themselves 9 points, because it's going to be one of those 2 that we'll see today. And we are going to see it with heroes that we see very often, as we see the Lifestealer and Lone Druid picked up with a bet, the Wisp banned out, as well as the Gyro and Nature's Prophet. We still have the Nyx Assassin in the pool and Shadow Demon here for RoX as their second pickup.
I like the Shadow Demon pickup. It's pretty strong against Lifestealer and very strong as an overall pick. The other option is something like Bane, which is stronger against the Lifestealer but less strong against some other options. I'm sure that RoX.KiS would love to have this this draft reversed, because you can see that Mouz has done the sort of anti-RoX drafting, but instead of banning the Gyro and the Lifestealer, they've banned the Gyro and drafted the Lifestealer for themselves, which is of course a hero that Black plays excellently and takes out the 2 best options for Business Perfect's heroes. So it takes out both his Gyro and his Lifestealer. I think that means we're probably going to see him on the #1 position Lone Druid, since Dread doesn't play this hero that much, but there's still a lot of options this early in the draft.
Yeah, we see Lone Druid often with secondary carry heroes, but as you say, with the players that RoX has, we're used to seeing BZZ on that hard carry, on that #1 position, so we'll be probably clear to us in time, as we actually see Mouz going for a bit of a potential aggressive tri-lane here. They've got the Leshrac, pairs up nicely with the Lifestealer, open wounds into his Split Earth with the Illuminate over the top. That's a lot of burst damage going through. Could be an aggressive tri-lane, could be... Actually, no, I think it's going to be an aggressive tri-lane.
Yeah, I think it's most likely going to be a 3 vs 3 situation. I would, if it does end up being Lesh, Keeper, Lifestealer versus something like Shadow Demon, Lina, Weaver, I don't think Lina will get through the bans. In fact, I really doubt she will. But if she did, I actually would slightly favor RoX in that tri vs tri situation. They could put Dread on the Weaver, BZZ's Perfect on the solo safe lane Lone Druid, and that would put them in very good shape, I feel.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, the amount of burst damage that you can do with the Soul Catcher there and Shikushi, and that's only naming the 2 heroes right there. And like you say, I mean, there's gonna be a secondary support. Lina, Jakiro, both still in the pool, as you say. Probably Lina gonna see a ban here. But Mouz, they ban the Treant first, as we know. RoX likes to play that one, and the Darkseer gonna get banned out first by RoX. As we know that Mouz, they basically got a tri-lane ready. They need an off-lane / solo lane and a solo mid. So that's the heroes that we're gonna see ban out. And Mouz actually banning out here a Visage as well.
I like this Visage ban, actually. So Shadow Demon Visage was one of the most successful pairs of supports in the G1 League over the past few days. And in fact, what you saw in the Grand Finals earlier today which I watched because I don't sleep, LGD actually had it banned out against them, both heroes. So it was Shadow Demon Visage first bans from Alliance. I think in both games, but at least in one. And that gives you just such an incredible try versus try composition because of the sheer amount of damage that gets thrown out. So, like, force the Lifestealer to use Rage, then when Rage expires, dump your entire combo onto him, and it's just an incredible amount of damage. So I like the Visage ban. I would still expect to see Lina. No, they don't go for it. So I think this is still an option for RoX.KiS to take this for their second support.
Yeah, by the way, you want to check your in-game sound?
Oh no, you're totally right. I forgot the in-game sound. I play so little Dota that I forget that I turn off the open mic.
It happens, it happens. We have got, the Juggernaut ban out. Juggernaut would have been a nice one together with the Shadow Demon as well. We've seen Juggernaut in a mid lane composition. We've seen it basically everywhere. And probably just someone that Mouzeport doesn't want to be facing, especially not in combination with that lone druid, as we see that combination very often as well. But yeah, banned out together with the Storm. And the Clockwork is going to be that one. And we know that Yol plays an amazing support Clockwork, so that's going to be their support of choice. With the Tinker going to Mouzeport, probably in the hands of Fada.
Yeah, I actually really like this Clockwork pickup. I didn't mention it because I really thought that they'd go with Lina, but Clock is an excellent option. So the reason people might take something like Lina is they're like, oh, so we use our disruption and then we dump the Light Strike Array on top and then Weaver does damage. Clockwork can just walk right up to the person who's in the disruption, open up cogs, and then that's at least a 5-second pseudo disable that Weaver will just get the opportunity to throw out 3 or 4 auto attacks in that time onto the trapped player. It's very, very effective, and it's extremely effective against Lifestealer in particular because Magic Community doesn't help you get out of cogs.
Nope. Battery Assault will of course be a bit useless. Soul Catcher also with the rage there, but it is, like you said, I mean, there's just so much time, and even if you don't attack him, you put him out of play for the entire fight. We've seen a lot of Clockworks lately going for 4 staffs, which I really like, just to put someone in cogs, 4 staff yourself out and leave them there to rub while you help kill other people, and that's something that you can do to the Lifestealer, and Lifestealer, he won't be able to do anything, like nothing at all, unless he has his own 4 staff or someone 4 staffs him out.
Right, yeah, I really like this lineup, and the only question is, does this mean, what do you think they take for mid? Queen of Pain, maybe? I don't know.
For RoX, we've seen Solo do different things. Now that they know that they're up against a Slark, though, because this kind of means that Tinker or Slark safe lane and then aggressive tri lane still there. We have seen so many Slarks lately, I have to say. We saw Liquid yesterday. I think we saw a game today, but it might be one of the DreamHack qualifiers that I was watching. Instead of the G1 League, yeah, that probably was it. But Slark is, I know, did I have it from you? I totally stole this pun from someone, but Slark is making a splash in the meta game.
10 seconds remaining.
Not from me. That's pretty good though. I like it.
I stole it from someone, so I can't take credit. I was a bit curious if I was stealing it from you or not, but that helps. Yay! I could have just pretended it was from me. Damn it. But yeah, Slark. We've seen a lot of Slark play lately, and
yes,
he has been this hero that is. Oh, I know. I saw. Sorry, I know. I remember why I remember him because never mind. But wow, awkward. But he's been the hero that is very elusive. You have to have wards against him. Dust won't work. When he gets level 6, he just gets this much freedom, and teams like undermine what he can do for some reason, or at least that's what it feels like.
Yeah. What I like about this Slark pick is that RoX.KiS had the opportunity to take a budget Magnus 5th pick, and now they probably really feel like they can't. Slark kind of trashes Magnus in a 1v1 mid, so if they wanted that for a free mid at the end, they now can't take it because of this late pick Slark that could just completely dominate. Magnus really has trouble because Slark can harass him whenever he comes up to the lane to try to last hit, and he has kill potential because you actually can't skewer to break the pounce tether thing. So you just get really, really hit hard. And they end up going with a mid-Nyx assassin, so this is something we've seen Solo do recently, and I think this will do better than the Magnus, but I still think that Slark could win this lane.
Slightly distracted, there we go. I think, yeah, Slark should be able to do okay in this matchup, though Nyx assassin with that mana burn will be very annoying to Slark, and I mean, you couldn't pick up something like a Queen of Pain or something like that, because the amount of harass that you can do is so limited with the Dark Pact constantly going off and your Shadow Strike basically not doing anything, so
Right.
I like this choice. It gives a lot of burst damage to RoX, and that's something that you need if you're up against a Slark. And also something that can help up against a Tinker as well. So that he can't get himself out of there. But a lot will depend on the laning stage, and I don't mean then mid, but I mean the potential aggressive tri-lanes that we're going to see, because I feel like that's something that we'll see from both of these games, as I am somehow not going into the versus map thing.
We had one person... Oh, wait, are you, like... Is your Dota hanging?
No, I'm in the right one, but it didn't go to both teams versus both teams. This was awkward.
For me, it's in game now, so like it went past that screen already.
Yeah, for me now too, but...
Okay, cool.
Oh well. We have a pause though. Maybe that was the reason. But we were waiting for RoX for the last one to get picked up here, as we are going to be seeing Quickfa playing the Tinker. So unless there's going to be a swap, which we know that Mouz Sports does sometimes, we're going to see Quickfa indeed on the Tinker, Black on the Lifestealer, Pass playing the Shrek, Fada on the Slark as expected, and Synderen playing his Keeper of the Light on the nice white pony horse that I also have, so I like it.
Oh, it's the cosmetic.
It's Rowan the Pale Stallion.
It's pretty good.
Yep.
It's a pretty good cosmetic. I don't think they'll swap, actually. I suspect they're going to leave Quickwa on the Tinker, and we haven't seen him play this hero that much, but it could be interesting. But Black is definitely... Well, I guess they could put Quickwa on the Lifestealer and Black on the Tinker, but I like this the way that they have it right now.
Yeah, so we've seen it the other way around as well, at least sometimes. So.
Yeah, we definitely have, you're right. For RoX.KiS right now, it's Vanscore on the Shadow Demon, Solo on the Nyx Assassin, Yoel on the Clockwork. None of that is very surprising. We do see Dread on the Lone Druid, which leaves business perfect for the Weaver. I somewhat expected it to be the other way around, but this works too. Yeah.
And then that kind of gives away what they want to be doing, or at least it's going to be having Dread solo, and this could be still a safe lane even. It really depends on what they're... If they're expecting an aggressive tri lane from Mouz, which is probably what's going to happen, then they can just go on the safe lane, leave Dread on the off lane up against the Tinker. He'll be having a good time there. Well, his bear will get lasered and stuff, which is annoying, but he'll still be able to get last hits, because he's, of course, 2 units, and you can only laser 1. I know. It's amazing logic. And, yeah, we'll probably see the tri lane for RoX to be a safe tri lane, even though they've got a lineup that says aggressive tri lane, definitely possible. So we'll see how that lane is going to be going, as we do indeed see BZZ picking up the Weaver, and the game is on its way.
It's a little bit of mind games, because of course you can try to guess what lane the other team will put its 3 versus 3 in. Now keep in mind, if they're going to run Lone Druid solo safe, okay, this is actually probably the best way that these lanes can work out for Mouz. The Lifestealer against the Lone Druid, which is a Lifestealer favored lane, and the Tri versus Tri with the Tinker rather than the Lifestealer, where Tinker can put down something like a March of the Machines in the lane whenever people try to kill him, and maybe you can trade a possible death on the Tinker for 1 or even 2 kills on the opposing team. So RoX.KiS has a pretty strong laning stage, but I think Mouz strategized correctly against this, if they can escape from this level 1 gank.
Yeah, as far as level 1 aggression goes, I mean, Disruption is of course very strong, but you can't underestimate level 1 March of the Machines if Quickfa would pick that up. And then Illuminate over the top, a lot of AoE damage going through, and then it's just up to Pass to maybe land a couple of stunts. And yeah, we don't see RoX really trying to really aggressively go for something, and they were already left with 3 as well. In terms of lanes, it looks like, yeah, well, of course solo is going to be mid, but as you said, I mean, we're going to see Black soloing the off lane, Tinker on the aggressive tri lane, and well, I say aggressive tri lane, but I'm only saying that because RoX is going to put their aggressive tri lane there, so the hand is in favor of Mouz Sports, because it is, once again, a lane that you would in theory see as an aggressive tri lane, but now with the advantage of being on the aggressive tri lane on the safe lane. And the counter word instantly done.
Yeah, I like this lane from Mouz. I still think that RoX.KiS have a slight... Oh, they actually put the Lone Druid mid. I like this a lot. They actually switched the Lone Druid to mid and the Nyx Assassin to solo safe to avoid the fact that Lifestealer is pretty much better than Lone Druid in that 1 versus 1. So still really smart play. Oh, the Cogs doesn't catch Synderen top, so he's going to be okay. But this is just going to be very, very aggressive play from RoX in this try. They want to get the kills here. The other thing to look out for is what Quickwa actually picks up for spells. So you could make an argument both for Laser March and for Laser Rockets, so it'll be interesting to see what he decides.
Yeah, and I really liked what Paz did here. I mean, he made sure that he split Earth at the moment that Yol was gonna pop his cogs to have Cinder in there, and that could potentially be a first blood. When that actually happens, I mean, right now they were just with 2, but Weaver can be there so fast with his Shikushi, so there could be a first blood right around the corner. Just if one person gets a bit out of position, there will be a disruption, and if Yol can get in range of that in time, then that spells trouble for Mouz. Which one thing that we haven't really mentioned, but is definitely something that we should also look out for, especially later on in the game. If there's gonna be a defensive disruption coming off from Vanscore for one of his teammates, and Paz has got his Split Earth ready, he could try to go for Split Earth right on top of that target. So in a way, actually having that disruption working against RoX.KiS is now Paz. And I was talking about someone slightly out of position. Paz is actually being forced back to his tier 2 right now, purely from being slightly on the wrong side, but he is able to run far and fast enough, and BZZ doesn't want to miss more last hits, as he is now missing last hits, and Quakefa being left alone for now.
And XP. I mean, Quakefa is halfway through level 2, and BZZ just hit level 2, so a little bit of an advantage starting to develop there. This will give Mouz the space to actually deward this. Basically, the thing is, and this could be trouble. Oh, he actually jukes the line of sight for the tree.
Yeah, it was close.
Wow. All that needs to happen is if Yol is less than 2.5 seconds of walking away from where somebody is disrupted, that person's dead. Yep. So this could be it right here. Oh, they decided to kill
There's
back.
one. Quakefa is ready with the Martian machines though, and they realized that. Because he went for laser Martian machine, so it's going to be having that mischance up on BZZ. And in the meantime, also Dread has been doing really nice in his mid lane. He is level 3, he is 10 for 7. Ooh, that's a first blood. That's black. No rage picked up, but open wounds were enough to really harass him. Quite surprised that he was able to do that. No Spike Carapace up on the Nyx.
Yep. It's the lack of Spike Carapace to... Otherwise he would have... I mean, obviously the Spike Carapace is... You're in a weird situation because rage lasts longer at level 1 than Spike Carapace does at any level. So that's why he didn't pick it up. Action at top, maybe.
Yeah, I'm already there, looking for a kill. Perhaps Vanscore is gonna be in some trouble, but it's Cinder that goes down first. Vanscore still alive for now, and Quakefa having to back out. Paz not able to help him out, and Quakefa could be in a lot of trouble as BZZ chases him down. There is still some mana up on Quakefa though, and here comes the support. Hello, Fada. Yol's gonna be locked inside that pounce, and will be going down. BZZ. He is scrambling on towards his lane, but Paz chasing him down. Can he get a Split Earthen is the question. He probably can, but now he has to run the Gemini attack and the Shikushi and the kill! BZZ will pay for that one, but at least take someone home with him. Quakefa though, he was there involved in 2 of the 3 kills that, or 2 of the kills that Mouz just got in the top lane. Didn't die, and that's all you can ask for. And in the end, they do kill off that Weaver.
Absolutely. That's pretty huge for Mouz, actually. They killed the Weaver, they got that kill on Tinker. That was all Paz, I would say. Very nice Split Earth placement. He knew that in order to kill him, Weaver would have to Shikuchi on top of him, and so he just Split Earthed right on top of himself, and it landed. That was critical to making sure that Tinker managed to finish that off. And that gives them a fairly substantial advantage up in the top here. The good news for RoX.KiS, Dread spent that entire time farming in the mid, and this lone druid hasn't been punished at all. He's going to be a big factor.
Yeah, he was already winning mid lane quite heavily with a lot of denies going his way as well. 14 denies. Fada gets entangled, was able to pounce himself out of there, but he's only got 8 last hits compared to the 22 of Dread. It is really not an easy lane for him. Of course, levels are more important right now for Slark than last hits, even though, you know, you kind of want to have that gold as well, but levels are important, and he of course was just involved in the kill, so get some extra levels to make up for the fact that he is basically a level behind of Dread regardless.
It's interesting what RoX have decided to do now, so I think they feel that they did not succeed in this aggressive try, which I would say is more or less fair. So they've put Weaver now solo bot, and, well, not solo, but the actual player solo has been doing a little bit of creep pulling for him. And now we have Weaver here. Solo's gone into more of a roaming formation, which I wish he had Vendetta before. There's trouble for Dread in the middle.
Yeah, he gets a Split Earth in his face. The pound's already hit. Hey, Black, welcome to the mid lane. And Tang also hits upon Black, really nice, but there's too many people to deal with this, and Dread will be going down. Fada with the kill and the gold, important, because he didn't have boots yet, which he does now. Woohoo! Did he really not have boots yet? No, he did not have boots yet. Okay.
Well, now he does. That's what counts.
Invisibility.
It's an important item. Definitely, but like you said, yeah, I would have liked Solo to be level 6 before starting to roam also. In another way, it does make it unpredictable that he actually is roaming, because nobody expects a level 5 Nyx Assassin to start roaming. They all expect him to be level 6, even though he is going to be level 6 with the quick wave that's coming in to mid lane right now. Fada, though, with an Invis rune might look for some action, especially since he has the help of Paz still hanging around here.
I think this could be a kill on Solo, possibly, if they decide to go for it, which it looks like they won't, because Paz is rotating over. But Fata, he's had a pretty good game, honestly. Setting up the kills both on Lone Druid and on the counter kill on Weaver when he was chasing Tinker is very, very nice. He actually will decide to fight solo.
Yeah, he has to be careful though, because the Vendetta is there. And there he goes. Also, Slark used his ulti to get himself away from that place.
Did he actually ulti in the middle of the attack animation for Vendetta?
Yes, because of, yeah, I think so.
That's really high-level play right there. That's really, really strong. Being able to completely stuff that Vendetta just after it got started means 60 seconds that you don't have to worry about Nyx Assassin's initiation potential.
Yep. And no worries about secret roams that you don't see, because we don't have any sentry boards up yet on the side of Mouse Sports, which is what you would normally aim for if you are up against the Nyx when he reaches level 6. We have got Synderen with no item whatsoever in his inventory, no wards, no nothing, as Black decides to go up on Dread again. Dread, he is very tanky, but is he tanky enough? Again, 3 heroes here to help take him down. Infest damage, not enough, and the cogs, yo! MVP Black not able to get out of these, fights a bear, and is gonna be able to run away now. Not enough damage to take him down, but also not enough damage to take Dread down. He lives.
Yeah. Very nice cogs from Yol. That was the only reason Dread didn't die there. Keep in mind, Lone Druid needs to go in true form to have tankiness, but then in true form, when he has no boots on the hero, is I think it's like 240 movement speed or something. It's pathetically slow. But Yol just bailing him out with the clockwork play.
Yeah, coming in at exactly the right time, and we do have aggression continue to come out from Mouse Sports in this mid lane. You would expect that, of course, from a Slark in mid game, he would be the aggressor. Same thing goes for the Nyx though, but I don't know. This Slark, he's trying to be aggressive. So far, not all that successful by himself, and that's of course largely the result of Dread just doing really well here in this mid lane in terms of farm and experience, and Solo using his Vendetta, not able to find anybody anymore because the rotation for Mouse Sports goes to the rune, rather. Fada gets himself a double damage rune. Might be helping with
Yeah, both teams have been rotating and roaming just a tremendous amount. I mean, Black basically left his solo farm lane and now is a roaming jungling lifestealer. So that's very interesting, which leaves... Now it's Paz versus BZZ in the bottom lane 1v1. And both of them were in the tri-lane to start. So just a very dynamic game lane-wise. And I actually think this dynamic positioning favors RoX.KiS a bit. Because one thing that it will do is delay Quakewa's Boots of Travel. He's somewhat close, but if RoX can now just control space and prevent him from farming, the later Tinker hits Boots, the better shape they're in.
Yeah, and they are going to be going up on Solo. He doesn't have his Vendetta for another 8 seconds. Goes for an Impale upon Fada. But is it going to be enough? It should be 1 second before he can get away. He should be able to get away. There he goes, and now the aggression comes up on Quakefa, and there could be a kill here. There he goes. It is Tinker that indeed goes down. Nyx picking up the kill. Vanscore still going down. Hey, Black, welcome to the fight as well. Solo running for his life without any mana, but he already did what he came for, so that's all good. Keeper of the Light still goes down. BZZ in this fight as well, also leaving his bottom lane. As he shouldn't be fighting up against a DD ruined Slark, and he realizes that as well, as we see that Solo will be going down, just trying to give Mouse Sports a bit of a run for their money, and it might actually be proving successful. BZZ.
Oh, BZZ.
Oh, that's a kill that shouldn't have happened. He time-lapsed away from most of the damage, but still stuck. Splitters from Paz.
The time-lapse, he couldn't know this. I won't call it a mistake, but it ended up killing him because he was in Shukachi, he was taking damage, so he thought the Sentry Rune was somewhere around here. The Sentry Rune was actually here. At the end of the Shukachi, he was already out of range of it. So he time-lapses back, and it actually de-stealths him and he dies. It's kind of unfortunate for him. Fata has a haste rune. Nice disruption.
Oh, good TP, unless they can stun him in time, which they can. Vanscore, you're dead. And oh my god, that's a gem! Down, or not, or they take it. It is gonna be Paz that's gonna be also running for his life. Fada already going down, and there goes Paz. Nice comeback from RoX. Who took the gem? Did it get destroyed? No, it was still in the hands of Solo. That's an important gem right there because it only just got picked up. BZZ though, he is not done. He wants to go for more, but the Marching Machine's preventing him from going in. Clockwork still with the flare, picking up Cinderin. Koikva now gonna be the next target. Boom, done for. And only one survives up a Mouse Force, the one that was not involved in this fight. It is Black on the top lane.
What a huge fight for RoX.KiS, so important. Again, Tinker, he hasn't made any progress in 2.5 minutes towards the boots. No progress whatsoever. In fact, he's worse off now than he was 2.5 minutes ago. And that's huge for RoX.
Quite painful as Fada tries to defend the mid lane tower by himself up against 3. Not really where he wants to be. It has to be so careful. If they have a ward, and they have actually a gem, so that's even better, he would be about dead, but they decide to back off, thinking that, you know, if Fada was that aggressive, there probably were more heroes around, which in the end there were. They were just a bit further away, but the threat alone was enough to make RoX be extra careful. Now BZZ gonna be very low on health as well. Does have 11 stick charges though, and does Mousesports actually have some extra vision next to the sentry? I don't think so, right? No. No,
it's just normal player vision. BZZ is playing very, very loose on this Weaver. Like, I'm kind of shocked about how dangerously he's playing. The fact that he only has 2 deaths is almost a little bit surprising, because he's just running right in there. He does not care at all against a team that has the pure damage lasers against a very low health target. Not to mention Slark, who does a tremendous amount of short range damage. I don't know. I'm interested by how emboldened BZZ is being on this Weaver.
How much he had to drink. He is still sticking around there, yeah. We actually see Fada. He is hanging around there too. I mean, he has apparently, well, he had the idea that there was some vision. BZZ. Fada is thinking about pouncing this. There he goes. He pounces, misses though, and the sentry isn't there, so he can't go for it. But yeah, I mean, it's just something that you can't really resist going in for, I guess, if you're a Fada. A free kill waiting to happen.
For sure. He didn't pay that much for that. It was a decent effort. He didn't quite get it, but he came reasonably close. And it's still hard to say who actually has the advantage in this game. I feel like the pace of the game is being dictated by RoX.KiS, and Dread is finding his farm. But Mouz, I mean, they have 3 core heroes. As long as a couple of them get development, they're in okay shape. And Tinker Koikwa is finally walking slowly towards that boots, actually using jungle creeps with March of the Machines to get the rest of the farm that he needs.
Yeah, nobody actually stacking ancients for him. Kinda sad for him, otherwise he would have already had that. But, you know, we were talking about Black being the jungling, roaming lifestealer. In the last fight he actually wasn't involved in. He was farming, and he is really doing really well on the farm right now, keeping up with Dread, who is also farming amazingly well. And he is the one, of course, that later on in the game will be able to be that hard carry still, regardless of the awkward early stages of the game he's had with being that roaming hero that he was. Successfully so, don't get me wrong, but it's still not the kind of not the kind of Black we're used to, let's put it that way.
It's very un-Black Dragon 533-ish. He usually is much more passive early on and then later joins the fights. But it's smart play, and I like it. That said, now he is sort of tending more into... I like the phase boots, by the way. He is getting that, trying to get that movement speed advantage lifestealer. Especially against a hero like Weaver who's so fast and your open wounds is useless against him. It's good to try to be as fast as you possibly can. In fact, I would say you gotta go fast.
Are you thinking Sanjay Yasha? Fast?
Yes, I think the full race car is fine. Drums at the very least, he may not need the S&Y, but it is an option that you should look out for.
Well, he is saving up a lot of his gold, I have to say. 2,600 gold in his inventory, hasn't bought anything in a while, and is now going to be under a bit of siege. Oh, there goes the armlet full off the bat. But RoX is gathering here on the top lane. They have 4 heroes gathered here, and if they don't take this tier 1 tower down in this go, then they'll have wasted a lot of time.
That's true. They did rotate over from the tier 1 mid that they have cleared out. This would be the last outer tower. And if they get this, that would put RoX at a full tier 1 tower advantage. They actually still have every single one of their tier 1s, and this will be the last Mouz tier 1. But we will see a fight here. Fata's coming in. Yeah,
and there he goes. Nice cogs from Joel, though, preventing it a bit. Disrupting the fight. Joel gonna get some open wounds. Black has to turn on a rage. Infests inside a creep and is gonna be basically stopping this fight. RoX gets out alive. With no tower though, and Mousesports uses also a lot of their heroes, so I guess no real loss for RoX.KiS for going on this one.
Mouz moved over basically everybody for that, so it's kind of a push, both teams sort of using a lot of resources to not great effect. I want to quickly call out Yol's cogs in this game have been really, really, really excellent. What he's done, which I think is really smart, is he almost always positions his cogs in such a way to push people outwards rather than to bring people in. So most people think of cogs as a skill to trap people inside, but it's actually because the drain effect is so good and it repositions people, it's sometimes better to intentionally place it so that it pushes people. And he's done that very effectively today.
Yeah, and they're not giving up here on this top tower. There is a change though, because we do have the Boots of Travel up on the Tinker, and here he comes. So March of the Machine Spam, in it comes, and that will make it very tough for RoX to continue this pushing spree. And, you know, they should be probably happy with the 2 towers they did get, because overall it will be a lot tougher to get the rest of the towers. And I think RoX will notice that too, and will probably decide not to fight, unless they want to try to go for a fake back. In which case they're trying to wait until maybe... well, Tinker is already back to bottom lane, and they're sticking around. They're wasting a lot of time here, and now there's only 3 heroes of Mouz Sports defending this. And with the Keeper of the Light there, they don't need more if they don't want to be fighting. And if they do, someone could TP in. But in the meantime, it is Slark Fada taking on the middle tier 1 by himself right now.
Died. Oh, if the rocket flare had hit, Cinderin would have actually been completely dead there. The rocket flare was a little short and it didn't catch him.
Nah. Spike characters from Solo brought him probably a bit lower as well with his own spell.
That's basically what happened there. They used that to set up and then added the... But, I mean, nice play from them. I think RoX's perspective is we'll get the tower sooner or later, and they did get it sooner or later, and Dread was farming that entire time.
Yeah, and this bear is not entangling Black. And a couple of hits that he was able to do. Whoa! A lot of TPs coming in, like we saw a couple, but they really want to fight. RoX.KiS, they feel like they are in a place right now where they are the ones to rule this game, which they have proven. They are determining the pace, as you already mentioned, and they just want to continue fighting. They have got the bear at very low HP, but he does have an armlet. Let's take a look at some of the more items that could have caused this change. Wait a second, Fada. He can pounce himself up the hill, though. That's fine. No ward vision up there.
All they had was Lone Druid too. They couldn't really do anything once Fata leaped up. So nice little play there. He did get spotted out. He wanted to do some sort of pincering motion with the Slark coming in from the back while everybody else barrels down the front. But then they decided not to do it, and Dread spotted him, but he escapes no problem. Dread is the highest level person on the map, so this Lone Druid has the most last hits, the highest second highest GPM actually, slightly behind BZZ, and the highest level. So they should use this Lone Druid while they have it, IMO. The March of the Machines is not that strong against the bear relative to how strong it is against everybody else.
Yeah, and that BZZ is still so high on net worth, all because he went down to that bottom lane and got some free farm there. He is building his Lincolns most likely, and he is pretty close, to be fair.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
And Quickfire here taking some Ancients finally with a stack there. Can be happy with that. It's got 1100 gold. Of course, waiting for the Blink Dagger. I hope he's gonna go for Blink Dagger rather than for Force Staff at least. Can allow him to be a bit more aggressive in his pushing. And of course also to try and split push RoX.KiS to the point where RoX is forced back, because RoX has been pushing hard on Mouz Sports the entire game.
Yeah, Force is actually pretty good against Clockwork, because if he does try to cog somebody in, you can push them out. But yeah, I would really think that a Blink Dagger is the correct move here for Quickwa, and I think that's probably what he'll build, and he's going to get there pretty soon. That's very, very good. Yol, wow, nice dodge. He completely dodged the leap from Fata at top, which would have probably been a kill, because Clockwork, once Slark's on top of him, what are you going to do? Cogs him further in? You really can't do much.
Well, in the meantime, Quickfire trying to defend this bottom tier too. It's not really working though. He already landed a nice dodge from the Impale, or at least Impale missed, I guess. BZZ time-lapsing out of there. Tower still goes down though, and Dread will take that gold gladly.
Yeah, I mean, as you said, RoX.KiS are really feel that they have the supremacy in pushing, and so far that's being borne out. I mean, Mouz has really not been able to contest those pushes effectively. Oh, trouble for Black.
Yeah, mid lane. He gets a soul catcher. Infest inside a Radiant Creep though. That should allow... Oh,
Cinderin!
Cinderin did not really help his case there. Let's see. No entangle, so Black is safe. Ooh, that was close.
That would have been a... Black would have been a little salty in my opinion. Although he's a great sport. He's such a nice guy. I doubt he would get mad. Yeah, but that would have been really funny if Cinderin had completely screwed Black over with that Illuminate.
It's a good thing for him that it's only level 2 Illuminate, I guess. Otherwise it would be a lot more trouble there.
Right.
Awkward. But we are gonna see Dread going for a Basher, of course, the one item. I mean, you're basically building against black right now, so you need entangles already. You know, that's based on luck, can't do anything about that, but it goes through rage. And of course, Bash goes through rage as well, so need more of those things, as in the mid lane looked like RoX wanted to go on black once again, but again, not able to do it.
I honestly
on solo though.
Ooh, that's really good too. That gives them... Solo has actually had a little trouble landing good impales this game. He's been doing a lot of clever stuff where he doesn't aim at the hero, he just sort of aims where the hero is going to be to try to get double impales, and it's failed. He might get Koikwa here though. This
yeah,
is big.
BCZ is coming in as well, the impale is there, and that's gonna be a kill indeed. And the big ass dragon will be going the way of BCZ. But it's, you know, small price to pay, I guess.
Exactly. There's a big problem for Mouz here, which is that Tinker is going to get worse and worse against... Oh, I love this Desolator pickup on BCZ, but I'll talk about it later. Tinker is going to get worse and worse against Nyx, because he
hook
has...
shot, Cinderant, you dead.
Nice. Dang. I don't know, I feel like RoX are really in control now, because Fata hasn't gotten anything done as Slark. He has bad farm, he hasn't really gotten that many kills. He's 3-1 and 2, which is good, but Slark is almost like Night Stalker. If you're not constantly killing people, you're falling behind. And Nyx Assassin, as the mana burn and the spiked carapace move towards max level, Tinker's just food.
Yeah, and I like what you said indeed. Slark, he needs to get continuously kills and make action happen on the map, but he is not really able to do that, as we do see him trying to run away from this one, but the Demonic Purge comes in after the Dark Pact, and that will be Fada going down. That's the second time he died. He's been involved in 5 out of the 8 kills. It's not that bad, but you would expect a Slark to be more aggressive and to be more, I'm gonna use the word, I'm sorry people, to be more snowballing around the map.
Absolutely. More like Tuskar, all in all, right?
Yeah. Just you know, get a good start, which you didn't get, granted, but then still be able to get the ganks going, and you know, you might not be able to do them by yourself if you don't have the mid lane that you would have wanted to have. Oh, blink away, nicely done, but Sentry Ward will be cleared out. They know where it is now, so
yeah. Very clever, honestly. RoX overall, I feel like they're playing a tighter game today than we've seen from them lately, because they've been a little disappointing since falling out of the qualifiers, as I think you mentioned just before the game started, but this is the RoX that I like to see. They had a pretty smart draft. The laning, putting Dread middle instead of Solo, that's really smart. Even though Solo got killed by Black, I actually feel like that was critical to winning the mid, because Lone Druid has a much easier time against Slark.
Yeah, I really like seeing this RoX.KiS back in action. Basically a bit of the old RoX that we, of course, we know RoX. We started watching them mostly because they are such an aggressive team, such a team that makes so much happen on the map. And it, like you said, it looks like they're back in action, back in full swing, and up against Mouz, of course, might be slightly, you know, revenge, as they were the ones to knock them out of the Western qualifier. So this must feel good for RoX right now, but it is not over yet, and we still have Black on the map, and he is farming like a madman. He hasn't died yet. He has got his Yasha ready, so I guess that's gonna be the start of the Sanjang Yasha. Still, the armlet is there, and he can still turn this game completely around. And a couple of mistakes from either side could just, or from RoX side in this case, then could put Mouz completely back into the game.
I totally agree, Sheever. You really can't underestimate Black's lifestealer. Like, I have a video on my YouTube channel of him just killing like 5 people and not even breaking a sweat in a game that they were behind in. He is a very, very, very good lifestealer player. Nice job from Koikwa. You see where he blinked up to?
Yeah.
He blinked in such a way that even with a perfect spiked carapace initiation, it would be impossible to actually take him down. So all he has to do is now leave. Does he want to try to kill Solo?
No, he doesn't have the mana for it.
Yeah, he doesn't have the mana.
He doesn't have vision either. Didn't have vision, right? Does he?
Radiant's bottom
no, that's just a Radiant Ward giving some vision there. So he's just waiting for mana, I guess. And then TP out. Yeah, there he goes.
But yeah, I think that Mouz could still very easily claw their way back into this, no problem. The only question is if RoX will let them, or if they'll continue sort of just... Right now, they're playing very smart. They're still continuing to get the advantage on Dread. He's almost at MKB, so that's going to be a very strong pair.
Solo. Oh, nice splitter! That's a kill! He came in, realized the Sentry Ward. Of course, he did have the gem. I say had, because now it's gone, and I would think it's taken actually by Mouz, but did they actually destroy it? They destroyed it. No more gem.
Interesting choice to destroy it, but... Because it's good for spotting out Weaver and for Nyx Assassin. It's a weird choice.
Yeah. I thought so too. It's not over yet though. We have RoX. BZZ under a sentry ward will be helped by Yol actually. There's the gem. My bad. It was on pass. And it is still gonna be, of course, BZZ going down. Yol trying to TP himself out. Is able to do that, surprisingly so. I wasn't expecting that one. The gem will still be in hands of Mouz Sports, even though... Did the gem this time get destroyed then?
Send. Maybe. I don't know. It's tough to say.
Blinding Light will help out. Blinding Light will help out. And that's...
no, the gem is back on solo, I think. Or they bought a new gem?
I think they bought a new gem. Oh no, that's Vanscore's one.
No, here's what happened. Yol picked it up off of Pasa's corpse. Then he TP'd to base successfully and handed it back to solo.
Oh, confusing stuff all around.
Definitely. I don't know if I like... Ooh, finally Fata finding a solo kill down here on Vanscore. I don't know if I like BZZ's buyback so much. He didn't get any kills. He pushed himself farther away from Lincoln Sphere if he wants it, which I think he does. I don't know. It's a little bit of a questionable buyback.
Yeah, we're gonna be seeing Solo finding himself Fata. Not the most easiest target to take down. He realized that too. And he just walks himself away. Even though if BZZ was a bit closer, he would have been able to help, but Fata is gonna be fine. And in the mid lane, we have got a push going on from Dread though with his bear with an MKV, and they can't defend their tower. BZZ taking a lot of damage from Pass there. Entangle up on Fata, but he dark packs himself out of there. Open wounds up on the bear. They really want to kill him off, and they do. Nicely done. At least they get something out of that encounter. Synderen still went down in that mid lane. That was actually BZZ indeed still picking him up. Went very low to pass, so he took a lot of damage. Oh, he's actually going to be going in, trying to go for some revenge. And look at the damage he puts out. The Desolator, nice split earth again. Pass on the mark.
Pasa's had an incredibly good game on this Leshrac. He's landed so many excellent split earths. Like they're incredibly on point. And BZZ really wanted a free kill there, and he's not getting these free kills. I do like this casual vitality booster. We'll have to see if he makes this into a Rod of Owie 2000, but it's most likely just going to stay as a vitality booster for now.
Yeah, we have, by the way, a very late mechanism almost up on Synderen.
He's actually in trouble. He's in a lot of trouble.
Oh, the Fata goes in Viz. Here comes Quakefat to help him out. Weaver goes down.
So it's pretty funny because there was a one sentry ward over here, then one sentry ward here, and one sentry ward here, and
you're not drawing on the map, are you? Because I don't see you.
Well, I'm pinging mostly.
Do I see your pings? Can you ping somewhere?
I'm gonna ping the middle of the river.
No.
Oh, you don't see my pings? That's
I see you drawing on the map though.
Alright, well, his escape route was through 3 sentry wards, and he ended up stuck in one of them. Yol trying to get the kill on Synderen up here, but he's surrounded completely, even with Solo's help. They do get Synd, but they lose the clockwork already. I don't know how this fight is going to go. I'm not super confident.
Oh, Solo is going to get burst down. Tried to deny the gem before he went down, but Dread will pick it up and TP himself out. Should be able to do that just fine, because the Lifestealer not having his Basher ready. Shadow Demon going down by Pass in the meantime was a solo kill. There is puddles of blood aplenty in the woods, and that was basically a 2-for-2 trade if you don't count the kill for Weaver, and he actually completes a Vanguard still with that booster, and I have to say that's a late Vanguard. I like it, don't get me wrong, survivable, but you don't. Okay.
So Vanguard is certainly a choice. It gives him some damage block. The thing is, Weaver is a ranged hero, so he gets 70% of the value of a Vanguard. You're talking about a team... Oh, actually, could he be in trouble again? No. You're talking about a team that doesn't have Mechanism. So even though Weaver has a very limited mana pool, he could have gone Mech, which actually makes you tankier than Vanguard does. I don't know. I feel that the Vanguard isn't fantastic. Nice initiation from Yol.
Yeah, Pass will go down. The rest of Mousesports trying to run himself out. Black trying to destroy the annoying bug that stuck to him. RoX though, BZ, he wants a courier. Oh, maybe not. Maybe it's Black still, but here comes Fada, and BZ has to time-lapse himself out. Joel all of a sudden in the front lines locks himself and BZ in the cogs. Solo coming in as well, but the blinding light still hitting Mouz. Black running, Illuminate does a lot of damage to Solo. Synderen able to stay alive just barely, with Flare still picking him up actually, and Fada gonna be able to run away from the bear. And now open wounds up on BZZ, gonna get slowed, gonna be killed off. No, not yet. He's able to run.
Perfect cogs. That was absolutely 100% cogs that prevented him from straight up dying. Yol right now is the BZZ defense force. Every time BZZ dives way too hard, Yol is like He's like, it's like a buddy cop movie. Like Yol is the good cop who has to like keep the other cop in check. I don't know. I really feel like RoX is playing the wrong. Like they're just kind of not taking the approach that I feel they should be. When I saw the Desolator, I was like, oh, they're just going to push and win because Desolator is so good to reduce the armor of the tower so that Lone Druid can kill it quickly. And instead, they're just taking these 3v3 fights. I feel like this doesn't move them any closer to winning. It just gives Mouz time.
Yeah, and talking about time, they have been giving it since for a while now because we haven't seen RoX improving on their gold either. They have been ahead with 5k gold for a long time, and it's been staying the same. And in the meantime, we still have the tower advantage going the way of RoX. So when Mouz picks off all those towers that are still on the side of RoX, they will be ahead. In fact, as we see BZZ finding himself a bit in trouble and is going to be time-lapsing himself inside the range of a Centaur. Nice dodge from the Split Earth. Is it going to be enough? It should be. It looks like it's going to be. Yul once again the saving grace of RoX and able to TP himself out in safety, as of course Quickfire still went down near the Ancients, which is what I missed, but you still saw that.
Yeah, they did catch him at the Ancients, which is good. Keep that Tinker from constantly farming that. Slow down his Scythe of Vice, because keep in mind, because this Weaver went Vanguard rather than the possible Lincolns, he'll be very vulnerable to a potential Scythe of Vice, like extremely vulnerable to it. So RoX is going to take the Roche. I actually really like this as a follow-up to the last fight, where again, BZZ gets himself into a tremendous amount of trouble. Yol on the Clockwork bails him out.
Yeah.
If RoX wins this, I have to say Clockwork MVP.
Well, so far he's been also doing a great job. Basically, every time Synderen was able to half get himself out of fights, like scrambling on, able with an inch of his life, happy that he lives, and then Yol comes in with a flare. That's happened, I think, at least 2 times, maybe even 3. And you know, those kind of pickups, they just matter. They just make the fight more complete, make the fight more go the way of RoX. As now with his Aegis up on RoX as well, they're gonna start looking for blood, and they found Black. Wow. Nice hook, can't go anywhere. Synderen trying to do what he can as BZZ with a double damage swing just disintegrates Synderen, and Black getting entangled, getting picked up. Those are the kind of kills that RoX really needs, and they are gonna be going on. They're gonna be finding Pass near the tower. Doesn't matter, Pass will die. Split Earth still hits on solo, doesn't matter. Backdoor protection, who cares? Here's gonna be a fortify though, that will help a bit, but in the meantime the lane is being slightly pushed by the rest of Mouse Sports, realizing what's going on. Can't really go into defend, but at least making sure that the push can't be going further than just a tier 2 tower.
Yeah, exactly. It's as you said, it's actually quite smart from Mouz. Just make sure that you don't lose a tier 3 off that fight, because that fight was all RoX.KiS, and when I say all RoX.KiS, I kind of mean all Yol, because the ability to lock Black down at the beginning of that fight was utterly tremendous. He's had such a good game.
Yeah, hopefully people will now understand why I slightly fanboy Yol support Clockwork, because it's, you know, it's no Mouz solo mid Clockwork, granted, but the amount of plays he is able to make are just as entertaining as BZZ time lapses himself away from Fado. He was in a tough spot right there. But no vision, actually. They don't have any vision for him because they can't. Placing wards will just get them countered, and that's why we see most of the map control going the way of RoX. We have got 2 new wards, or old wards rather, coming off from Mouz that are able to stay there for a very long time, I think.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. The thing about BZZ is now that he's more than level 16, these dives are a lot safer because he has a 40-second cooldown, 0 mana cost time lapse. So there's very little that Mouz can do to prevent him from being able to get out, except for Sheepstick, which is coming pretty soon at about 400 gold. So not in these Ancients, but in the next Ancient camp, or another camp of normal creeps, they'll have the ability to lock the Weaver down, which is a big deal. That said, Dread is 4k ahead of anybody else on net worth, so this is a scary Lone Druid. He's got his Basher, he's got MKB, and he's moving towards Quiris, which would be a huge deal as well.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking, like, if right now, at this very moment, RoX would go into mid lane and try to push, and try to take down a tier 3, which is, you know, doing the normal thing of going with the bear up the hill and not really putting yourself in danger, I think they would come a long way. And how far would they actually get, you think, if they actually decide to do that?
I think they could do pretty well, honestly. I'm not sure what they're waiting for. I don't know. I was just thinking about Synderen, and I really feel like maybe a rank of Mana Leak earlier would have been really good this game. It's excellent against Weaver, and especially against this Weaver, who always wants to be running in and out. If you can put a Mana Leak on him, how does he escape? He immediately runs out of mana, and you can just lock him down from there.
Very true. I'm actually surprised we saw Synderen building towards his mechanism. I was saying 27 minutes mechanism, I think, at the time when I said that. But by now it's 35, and he only now has the recipe as the bear is getting eaten up by Black. I guess that's what happens if you send him up the hill. March to the machine stopping that as well. But BCZ, he can do this. He has a time lapse. He can get away just fine. And the tower slowly dropping. Split Earth hit.
So
time lapse.
stupid.
Woo! Now the disruption is not going to be putting him back that much higher on HP, but at least he's able to take the tower down to 390 HP, and actually, again, this is the second bear. He's gonna live, though. Would be a big pick-off if they kill him off a second time, but not this time.
Very nice turtling. It was really good turtling from Mouz there to be able to defend the tower against the bear. And BCZ, I honestly thought that was a huge mistake, but he did manage to survive because he stayed in one spot for so long that his time lapse took him back. Oh my god, goal.
Nice hook shot, but the pounce out will help out. There was no gem, though, either, so this was a blind... Well, you see the smoke cloud, I guess. You see the smoke cloud. But still, the gem is actually up on the Slark himself now.
I think that they need to put the Weaver and the bear up on the high ground at the same time rather than sequentially. Because like I said, the Desolator bonus, oh man, Black is actually disrupted. Are they going to try to make something happen here?
Yeah, looks like it. BCZ trying to over Synderen once again. That's an easy pickup if he gets him. And he should be able to... Oh, the mechanism ready! Synderen is going to be so happy with that. That helped him keep himself alive. Otherwise, he would have been going down. And that is RoX not getting a kill, but also not getting killed off. I guess that's an upside as well.
Thought so. Will they trap him? Wow.
Looks like a BKB just finished, turned on 10 seconds. Gonna be going for BZZ. Gonna get Hex for the first time. Discovering Koifa has got that Hex as Black running for his life. Rages himself into safety. The bear getting that was awkward. Bear inside and turned into a piglet. Look at everybody of Mouzeport scampering on with so little HP. And basically Quickfa saving everybody with the Hex.
This sheepstick pickup was so extremely important. They can sheep the bear and continue dealing damage to it, which is critical. It's very, very, very nice.
They're gonna go up the high ground here as well. Fada with the double damage from them. They have to watch out. Whoa, Solo and Yol taking a lot of damage from that Illuminate, and that's already the Aegis burn. RoX though, they go in. Black taking a lot of damage. Armor toggling. Able to stay alive for now, and a laser by BZZ. That's overextension for you, and the rest of RoX running because they can't stay there without BZZ.
Yeah, that was a very crazy fight. You Aegis and the Weaver on top of it. He's got the gold to buy back. I suspect that he won't buy back because they don't have Roche for another 4 minutes. Actually, it's good they used the Aegis when they did because it would have expired just before he died. So, actually, I feel like RoX.KiS got a little bit of an advantage there simply because they did push through that tier 3. If they try to high ground again, you could see these Raxes fall quite quickly, frankly, as the bear is just adding more and more on. The Quiris is done. Weaver will be moving towards his next item. I'm still scared about the survivability of this Weaver. He goes deadless, so it's going to be huge damage, but still no surviving power.
No Lincolns, no BKB.
Not even a mech, keep in mind. Their team has no mechanism.
That's you know, if you want to go for sieges, that's great, you know, you have got a bear, you've got yourself your disruption, make yourself some extra illusions to push up the high ground as well. Amazing, yay, happy time. But you need to have your mech. Especially if your opponent has one, even though it's a very late one, they do have one. They can outlast your siege, especially with March of the Machines and Illuminate splashing through, and it's really tough for them. And we just saw Weaver dying. I actually think he didn't have to die, kinda, if he just walked back after popping the Aegis, he would have been able to live, I think, but...
Possibly. But you've seen BZZ in this game, right? Like,
yeah.
That was not in the cards. That was not going to happen. The last time I saw a Weaver play this insanely aggressively was Silent in the qualifiers. But the thing is, Silent had a Treant Protector backing him up. BZZ has not even a mechanism backing him up.
He's just a squishy hero. I guess maybe that's why Epi was asking about his age early. Like maybe he's just really young and just wants to run in and just
or
kills
he's
up.
really
But
old and has nothing to lose.
well, being almost 18 for a Dota 2 player, I think that's not, you know, it's not extremely young. It's not really old either. So it's, you know, it's a normal age. Yeah, that was the answer from Inmate, near 18.
Wow, they're a pretty young team then. And of course, Mouz has Quickwa, who's also 17, I think.
Well, there have been younger Dota 2 players. I mean, if you look...
Sure.
Oh, wait a second. Yo, he's gonna go down. Dead. Yeah.
He's building towards Pipe, which I actually really like. That's part of the reason I think why they don't have the mechanism. You would see it on the Clockwork, but he's making Pipe instead. Hard to blame them, honestly, because Pipe is going to block a tremendous amount of Mouz's turtling damage. Against Keeper of the Light and Tinker, which is like the preeminent turtling lineup, you need a Pipe. It's not negotiable.
I'm actually looking at, like, BCZ just landed like 3 hits on Black. Black is down to half HP.
Weaver is actually really, really strong against Lifestealer in a duel situation because he can kite him using Shukachi and Timelapse if he needs to. And Lifestealer, he's immune to magic, but his armor is really nothing to write home about. You can see that right now he only has 15. He does have Abyssal, which is a huge deal, again, against this Weaver
especially now.
very little defense.
Yeah, it was gonna be BCZ that they want to have. He's turned into a piglet already, and here comes the pounce. Well, there it is, and the infest out. There we go.
No chance
5
at all.
people there. Yeah. Anytime that Koikwa finds someone right now, he should, in theory, be able to keep him hexed until the rest of the team comes in for backup.
Exactly, and that's why I don't know, the Vanguard, it blocks some damage, but he could have had Daedalus and Lincolns instead of Vanguard and... Sorry, he could have had Chrysalis and Lincolns instead of Vanguard and Daedalus, and I feel like Chrysalis and Lincolns would put him in a vastly better position right now. And I say this as a big Lincolns critic. I usually don't like this item, but here, I'm just kind of shocked that he went for Vanguard.
Yeah, maybe even a BKB, some of that Illuminate damage, because he takes a lot of damage from that as well. Next Roche, if it goes to Mouz, they're going to be picking up those tier 2 towers, which they still haven't got. By the way, we haven't really talked about this, I've been showing it a couple of times, but RoX has been in constant advantage for this game in terms of gold. They are now 12k ahead, courtesy of Dread, I would believe. Experience graph towards the 8k, it has been dropping down a bit lately, but that is because, yeah. That is just because of the fights going the way of Mousesports, and later kills mean more experience. Oh, Dread, turn into a piglet, but Koifa getting stopped by a nice hook in from Yul, again to save the day. With their Aegis being picked up by Black, the bear though bashing on Black, and I say bashing because he is bashing and entangling like crazy, and he is gonna burn the Aegis. That's huge. Synderen gonna get entangled as well, and it goes down before Black can get up to help save his life. Black running for his life. He gets impaled. He still had the rage, but he chose not to use it, and he goes down twice in a row. Well, of course, one was the Aegis, but still, 2 picks up for RoX. They need to have Black buyback, but he can't. He has no gold. Synderen buying back great, more Illuminates, but this spells trouble for Mouz.
What an incredible flank to gank by Solo there to pick off Black's escape, and the Bear KB, I guess this is the new meta now. We've seen it twice now, and it's pretty useful, and the Bear just winning that man fight against Black, just straight up. The Bear just totally dominating him.
And that will be the Rex going down. Here comes a buyback from Nyx, who still went down. Vanscore gonna still go down. You know, those kind of kills don't really mean that much. Mouz already lost their Rex. RoX already got what they came for.
And this is really the early decisions paying off later. One thing that you saw earlier in this game was RoX.KiS would always send a bunch of people around the map, clear out towers, pressure Mouz, gank Mouz, but during all of that time, Dread wasn't there usually. He was always farming. And now you see him at the 400 last hit mark. He has had 200 higher gold per minute than Black, so over a 44-minute time span. Actually, Yol is going to die to Koikwa up top here, by the way.
Yeah, I was having my camera on it. It was, you're typical I find you and you're constantly hexed kind of thing.
But yeah, so Dread now has a, like, an 8,800 gold lead, like, in terms of earned gold. Yeah, he's 9k ahead on net worth relative to Black. So how would Black win that duel? It's not actually that plausible.
I mean, it's, yeah. I mean, you saw basically a big, giant-ass BKB bear fighting against a zombie, and zombies against bears. Bears win.
The thing is, Black right now is a Weaver killing machine. He moves just as fast as Weaver, or close to as fast as Weaver, and he can stun him with the Abyssal Blade. What he isn't is a bear killing machine. For that, he would need his own cuirass, he would need probably more damage items, and he's not that at all. He's not able to handle this bear, and there's nobody else that can either. The only way they handle the bear is to continually chain Tinker things onto it.
It is so tough for Mouz right now. They have to just try to pick a fight when there's no Dread around. And maybe that's even possible, because Dread has continued to farm. Like, they haven't tried to pressure mid lane or top lane right now, leaving Mouz to their devices, and maybe they can use this time to try and pressure or pick off some heroes of RoX and make sure that RoX is not going to be able to push into their base, because, oh, Impale Black in some trouble. Look at the damage from BZZ. Infest out doesn't do anything. Rage. Oh, here comes Squeakfa with a Dagon. Wants to go for Solo. Solo able to get away. Never mind. Will probably not get away. Or he will. Or BZZ comes and kills him off. He didn't get Black. Only barely. He didn't get it though. Boss, yeah, I think you're gone too. It's a nice effort. Edict doing what he can. Sentry ward being placed. There's your mana leak.
There's the mana leak.
And the
he
mechanism.
has to time lapse once he gets mana leaked. That's the correct response, but as a result, BZZ is saved. They have to use the buyback on Tinker. Black, by the way, was about a quarter second away from dying, but the armlet toggle saved him.
Oh, it was so close. It's a bigger sacrifice, or it's better to have Tinker go down than you're a Lifestealer, to be fair, especially since, in a way, Lifestealer is pretty far behind on that gold. Look at that, he is 10k gold. Net worth lower than Dread. That's not something that you often see from Black. Normally he's on top of the list.
It really, really isn't. He's not even ahead of where BZZ is, and that's a problem.
Yeah. As a Tinker just makes himself known and TP's out in the top lane. I mean, they did get the top lane tier 2 tower at some point, which is great as we see Syndering going down, but, you know, that's a Keeper of the Light life. It's a tough one. We now finally have the pipe complete, by the way, or as good as complete, I think. Yes, the recipe for it. Is the rest in the courier?
No, he's not actually done with it. He still needs a Ring of Health, doesn't he?
Yeah. He does. Then he does. Yeah, I was curious to see if the rest was there.
He's not done.
We do have BZZ sitting on 4k gold. Do you think he's finally gonna go for maybe a bit of a more defensive item, or what do you think he's gonna get?
That's a funny joke. No. Maybe no. MKB at this point. I don't know. I would go a defensive item, no question. Maybe even a BKB would be good in this case, but with how BZZ has been playing, it's hard to say, oh no.
They want to get him. They want to get him. Disruption's going to help save his life, so they try to go on Vanscore instead. They will take him down, but can they now get BZZ too? Bash, Abyssal Blade. There's a time lapse though, and it's not enough. He goes down. Koifa goes down with him, because here comes the cavalry. It is a bear form cavalry. It is Dread. It is Solo. Fada goes down. Koifa goes down. Black is running for his life because he does not want to meet that bear, but yo, with the hook shot, gets it. Impale, bear, dash, kill. There we go. That's gonna be 3 on the sideline for Mousesports, and only 2 support left alive, and this could be a start for RoX pushing up the high ground, but lucky for Mousesports, the lanes are not that much in their favor. Maybe mid lane, actually.
Because there's no Tinker. He bought back earlier, and he has no buyback now. They have a full minute with no March of the Machines available. They're going to have to buy back Lifestealer and Slark, and I still don't know if they can do this.
Well, they do buy them back. They try. The lucky thing for them is that if BZZ dies again, he doesn't have buyback, because that's what he used his gold for. He bought back with a tier 3, so goes down really fast. Black with the bear. He can't fight against a bear. He runs. Hook shot in though, still stuns him up, as Yul's gonna be paying for that one probably. And yeah, he dies. There we go. Fada looking for some more action as the ranged Rex already goes down. Melee Rex too soon to follow. There we go. Illuminate flying through. Not doing that much though, unless picking up the bear, but only after the Rex are already down. BZZ now. Next target, nicely done. That was that Abyssal Blade paying off, and that's BZZ out of play for a long time, but it's still a second Rex dead.
Yeah, they get the second set of racks, and it's okay to lose the Weaver. Mouz's only chance now is somehow... Actually, Vanscore, he doesn't have buyback either. So, Mouz have a big opportunity now that, in my opinion, they must use. They must make something happen in the 66 seconds that Weaver's on the ground. Otherwise, I don't see them getting back into this game. 2 racks disadvantage when, so they have 3 cores, right? They have Tinker, Lifestealer, and Fata. And now there's only 1 lane that they get normal farm from. Every other lane is now much, much less gold available due to having super creeps. Consequently, they have to equalize one of these lanes. Oh, quite.
Yeah, I was sitting there with my mouse. He was sitting there in Vendetta, like waiting for someone to come first into the base. So he was in enemy's base, didn't see anybody, and then Koikva TP'd in right at the moment that the Vendetta was about to run out, and it was like a, well, gift sent from heaven for solo. As a tier 2 mid still goes down, but Mouz can't do anything more than that. They can't go up the high ground. They have to back.
It's not enough. So they have the Abyssal on Slark. This gives them even more Weaver lockdown. But what I still don't see is, I guess that they can try to just use both Abyssals on the Bear. So Bear KB does nothing against 4 seconds of Abyssal. But I just still think it's so difficult for Mouz now, because that's the last big item you'll see Fata get, unless they win like 2 huge team fights. He just won't find the farm. Tinker and Lifestealer will suck up most of the remaining farm left on the map.
What do you think about Spirit Bear maybe changing his boots to boots of intellect, like treads?
Arcanes?
Or maybe even arcanes. Like treads on intellect or arcanes, because it does
Abyssal?
give him, yeah, for Abyssal, even though the Abyssal is now back on Dread, but it works. It's kind of cool. I like it, and I would like Dreads to do it too.
The thing is that phase here is so important to retain that movement speed advantage relative to Race Car Lifestealer. So if you lose the phase, you run the risk of Lifestealer, as long as he doesn't get chain bashed, being able to just kite the bear. So it's a tough call. He could just get the casual energy booster. I mean, he's got the money.
Yeah, but he doesn't have inventory space then, because now the Abyssal. Well, no, yeah, right, the Abyssal's on the master.
That's a really good point. Yeah, I don't know. It's a tough call. I don't think I don't think he gets enough mana to actually use the Abyssal with power treads. So it would have to be Arcanes, which is such a bad item for everything except using Abyssal.
Yeah. Well, it's an option. We'll see. He probably is not going to go for it. Otherwise, he wouldn't have put it on his hero self. We do have RoX probably waiting until the Roshan is up and then going up to the top lane, the last lane, where they still need to do something. What do you think that? Oh, I was gonna ask, what do you think that Mouz should do in the meantime? Well, I think they just gave the answer.
They have to win the Roche, basically, by just clearing out all of RoX.KiS and then pushing on the back of that. So that's what they're going to try to do. They are not favored, but that doesn't mean they can't win.
They have to try.
They have to try.
Without the Aegis, they will probably not win the game. Oh, they're going up on BZZ. He time-lapses away. It is solo that they get. Black, though, gets Abyssal Bladed and gets a BKB bear on his face. Nyx already goes down, but so does Black. Up the high ground, Koikva stands, March and the machine spam incoming. Synderen trying to survive, but it's only enemy heroes around him. He goes down, 3 dead on the side of Mousesports, and Koikva finding his own illusions and of course fighting RoX from the low ground, and that is gonna be only Pas able to stay alive in that one, and I think that's only because he was able to TP himself out just in time. Buyback from Synderen. He probably has to do that, but what good is that gonna do right now?
Yeah, they just, even when the cooldown for the buyback for Fata and Black is actually almost up, but they don't have money. So they won't be able to buy back, pure and simple. And I think that means that this is more or less all she wrote. RoX.KiS just creating space for Dread. One small thing that they did this game that I thought was incredible, Synderen's gonna get picked off here. One thing that they did that was amazing was at all costs they held their gem. And they nullified Fata with that gem. Like, the amount of effort they went to make sure they didn't lose their gem was just a huge amount of effort. And as a result, Fata, he was 3-1 early, and he's barely gotten kills since then. Like, in the last 35 minutes, Fata has picked up 3 kills.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that RoX.KiS is back. Because they just took a game off the team that eliminated them from the Western qualifiers. This is the kind of revenge that you want to have as a team. Personally, I have to say I was not expecting this result. Might be slightly biased, but I'm happy it went this way, and we see Dread and BZ actually maybe slightly trolling, but it looks like they were both gonna go for rapiers. But yeah, that's or maybe both radiances. Let's keep it, you know, professional. But we are gonna be seeing RoX taking their first three points in StarLadder Season 6. We're gonna see another game though coming up next. It will be I believe it is going to be Virtus.Pro taking on StarLadder, so that should be an interesting match as well. There's of course 5 games in total. This was only the first one. There's going to be teams such as Virtus.Pro, Fnatic, Na'Vi, and more Mouse Sports and Cupid Red Panda is going to be shown here as well tonight. So looking forward to those games. And I think we're already 15 minutes behind schedule because this game kind of ran long. And yeah, you can do your well, I will do outro first because I think we need to go to the lobby. Otherwise, they start with us. That's not good. Anyways, we'll be right back, people. Stick around for more Dota 2 action coming up, and let's hope the games are going to be just as good as this one.
Season 6 of the legendary StarLadder TV series. 16 top European teams. 120 season matches plus an epic LAN final voiced by your favorite shoutcasters. Watch the StarLadder TV matches using your Dota 2 client. Get an exclusive StarLadder HUD. Tickets on sale now.